This video will cover the second part of water purification. As mentioned before, there are many substances found in natural water. There are many ways to remove substances from natural water that is intended for public consumption. One of these methods is sedimentation. This is where water is stored in a reservoir or large tank. This shows the flow of water, which causes particles which are insoluble and large to settle at the bottom. The cleaner water is then at the top and ready to be collected for the next stage. Filtration is the next step. This is where water is sprayed onto prepared layers of sand and gravel. As water passes through, smaller insoluble particles are taken out. These filters are cleaned by water being pumped through the filter backwards. The final step is chlorination. This is where water is injected by poisonous chlorine gas, which is used to sterilize it by killing any microorganisms. What is fluoridation? Well, fluoridation is a preventative measure for tooth decay, where small amounts of fluoride is added to drinking water. Tooth decay is where enamel on our teeth reacts with acid and dissolves. Acid can be present in our mouths by either acid produced by bacteria living in our mouths from the sugar we eat, called plaque acid, or from acidic foods. Demineralization is the dissolving of enamel, and remineralization is where the acids become neutralized, for example, by saliva, and minerals re-enter the enamel. Fluoride aids in the prevention of tooth decay by decreasing the capability of plaque bacteria producing acid, changing how developing enamel of young children is made up so that it does not react with acid, and the rate of remineralization is increased by low levels of fluoride. Although there are benefits to fluoridation, there are also reasons as to why it is a bad idea, such as fluoride being present in dental products such as toothpaste, and the concentrations of fluoride in these products are high, so it defeats the point of fluoride in water. Some people believe fluoridation should not occur, as they see it as a form of mass medication without consent, even though chloride is widely accepted to be in the water we use for everyone's safety. A condition called dental fluorosis is when white patches form on the surface of enamel, and it is caused by higher levels of fluoride. High levels of fluoride can also cause stomach cancer, infertility, and other health issues. Desalination is where seawater is removed of its salt to produce clean drinking water. It is particularly useful in countries where they have no fresh water sources but do have coastlines. There are two main methods of desalination. One is thermal desalination, where salt water is heated or allowed to evaporate. The water vapor is collected and condensed into pure water, and the leftover salt is repurposed. Another method of desalination is reverse osmosis, where seawater goes forcibly through a membrane at a high pressure. The membrane prevents any chemicals dissolved in the water going through and only having water passing through. Desalination has its disadvantages, such as both methods requiring more energy than traditional methods of treating water. Increased energy means that desalination produces more greenhouse gases than traditional water treatments. Increased energy consumption also means that it is more costly than traditional methods of water treatment, so countries cannot afford it despite being able to benefit from it. A place which commonly uses desalination is the Middle East, as many of the countries are able to afford it. Rainfall is low. They have access to cheap oil for energy, and many of these countries have a coastline. The final water purification method we are going to talk about is distillation. This is where miscible liquids are separated. Miscible liquids are liquids which can fully mix together. Immiscible liquids are those which do not fully mix together and form layers. Distillation can only work when the miscible liquids have very different boiling points. The distillation example I'm going to talk about is water and ethanol. Water and ethanol look similar, but water boils at 100 degrees Celsius and ethanol boils at 78 degrees Celsius. When a mixture of water and ethanol reaches 78 degrees Celsius, it boils, and as a gas travels to the boiling tube, it then condenses it into an ethanol which is high in concentration. It is not pure, as some water would have evaporated also. The ethanol is then collected as a distillate. Distillate is a liquid collected during distillation. The liquid left behind will then be mostly water. Pure water is acquired by changing the receiving flask when the thermometer reaches 100 degrees Celsius.